So my name's Sean. I'm from Heist, from Sydney, Australia. Check out our new single, Left to Loathe.
Beautiful, Sean. Good to see you again, brother.
How you doing, man?
Very well, mate. All the better for seeing your smiling face.
Thank you. Thank you. You know how to make a girl blush.
So as you mentioned, man, Heist last week released your latest single, Left to Loathe. So yeah. How's the early reception been for it?
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Like to the point where I wasn't. Yeah, it's crazy. It's getting like 5,000 streams a day as opposed to the 500 we were normally getting beforehand. Nice. People are posting about themselves, like taking the initiative to message the page. So I've been replying to messages a lot. If you want to talk to me, message the Heist page.
You might regret saying that.
Yeah, I know.
And when you put that down, bro, like you say you've gone from 500 to 5,000, like that's a significant increase. Like what do you put it down to? The band's hard work behind the scenes or luck or like?
Yeah, a few things. So I learned a lot about, I suppose, marketing a release since the last release. With the last release, I kind of pushed it a lot to like Australia and just pushed it out to like Australian mediums. Whereas this one, I've taken a bit more of a worldwide approach, both with like, so I do a bunch of like Facebook ad stuff for other bands and shit and stuff like that. So I've learned a little bit from like working on other people's releases. And on top of that, I think like Chris and Guy did the video again for this one, but they just went over the top, and it's obviously resonating with people. Like it's just good stuff. I think it's at least the best stuff we've ever done. Like,
so tell us a bit about the song musically and what you're going for with it.
Yeah. So musically, I think in the like with the record, which we spoke to you about last time. So Chris kind of learned how to sing like an angel at the very end of it, but the songs weren't really written for that. He was still sort of finding his voice. So I think with this one, we were like, all right, well, let's get a little bit heavier and a little bit softer in the softer parts and like really show the range of what his voice can do. And also like, I don't know, we learned a lot of tricks over doing 10 songs in like a short amount of time. So sort of trying to consolidate all of that and yeah, keep it as us as possible.
And you've been quoted as saying that Left to Loathe is our most daring project to date. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So we used to put ourselves in a little box, and that box was like, we don't really do low screams, or we don't want to have too much synthy sort of stuff or anything like that. Whereas this one, I think we just kind of pulled all the stops. I really like making weird electronic music, so like getting to implement some of those aspects. And like we listened to a lot of, I don't know, like metalcore tracks, and I think we were in like this little post-hardcore box that we made for ourselves. And on this one, we were like, no, let's just do whatever the hell we want to do. Let's just make a cool song. I think that's the direction we're taking with like all the newer stuff we're doing as well.
I suppose a lot of that had had to do with the horror-inspired music video that gives the song a real cinematic feel, and it actually is pretty creepy and scary in parts, bro. So tell us about
that. Yeah. So I'll quote Chris on this one, but so he came up with the concept for the video well before the song was ever written. And that was sort of inspired by, I think it was like a Simple Plan. No, was it Good Charlotte? Some Good Charlotte song he heard, and he was like, the concept of the song is like, I could make a way better video for this. And then he started tinkering around with like storyboarding the idea for the video. And then we started writing a song. And then when we were writing the song, we were like, well, I want to do this horror thing. And I'm like, all right, well, that's cool. And you get to flex like your skills in that department. Let's add heaps of weird horror noises and screams and like just weird stuff and like really texture it up.
Well, it definitely worked. And as you say, it was directed by your vocalist Chris and your guitarist Guy. So were they slave drivers on set?
Yeah. So I can swear on this, can't I?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, hell yeah. So I've been given the term pixel fucker. Pixel fucker is someone who constantly hits you up and tells you little micromanagement things. It's a thing they usually say in corporate world. Apparently I'm a pixel fucker. So like, yeah, on the set they were all right. It was kind of like they knew what they wanted. They had a shot list. I got poked in the eye by his sister, who was the actress in the thing, because when she does the grabby head thing, just straight in my eye with this sheet over my head. I'm like, what the hell? The on-set was fine. It was more the editing afterwards because it's all VFX. There was a lot of long late nights for Chris.
Yeah. What story is it actually telling? Like, I'm sure there's a story behind it.
Yeah. Oh, so like the story itself?
Yeah, or the video.
Good question. I think mostly just horror vibes, but more so. Yeah. So with that, there's more so like the duality of self, and also being like, I'm left here with my demons. This is like very drunk beer talk we had one night of like, what does this mean? Like, what are we doing? But yeah, I suppose like representing that duality itself. So there's 3 characters in the story of the clip, and all 3 of those persons are the same person who is the demon, which haunts the same person. And if you watch to the very, very end of the clip, it's all like a loop, like a car pulls up and the same girl gets out, and then you're stuck in this thing. I suppose that with like Left Alone, there's like you're just left stuck in this same loop. I wish there was a positive take to that, but it's sort of it's a bit of a morbid lyric, I guess.
That's the reality of it, mate. There isn't much positive in this world these days.
True.
And of course, by having the band do it themselves, like it further accentuates the DIY nature of Heist, mate. Like, how easy is it to be so hands-on in the modern age of music?
I think for us, not every time, I can't say it like every time. We've had some good help from people in the past, but when we control everything, like no one's going to give as much of a shit as us. So like when we get to control more aspects of what we're doing, it lets us like it puts all the burden on us, and then we're not putting the blame on like, oh, you know, that Joe was our booking agent and he fucked us over because he didn't blah. Like I'll email people and I'll hustle, and it's good to have that there. But I think even when you do have a team, and like I think that's sort of the next step for us. Like let's try and maybe get some people that we can trust on board. But I think you also have to put in the hard yards yourself. Yeah, I suppose like not controlling everything, not that we're control freaks, but like just knowing that as much as we put in is what we get out is probably something that we value.
Yeah, that's cool. And the press release also says that the song shows an evolution in production and vocal performance. Now, we've touched on this in this interview in the last one, but can you elaborate on that a bit more for us?
Yeah, so Chris can sing now. It's nice. With the production side of things, so I spent most of COVID sitting there learning about marketing stuff and literally playing around making weird house beats. So like I got really in touch with that side. So like I guess to merge the two together, and sort of just bring out everything, pull no stops, and see what we can make. And like we just wrote a bunch of new songs. I don't know what they're going to look like or what it's all going to be. Yeah, it's pretty early stages, but we've kind of expanded on that again. So stay tuned for maybe sometime this year some new art stuff.
Right, and the stuff you've written, is it similar to Left to Loathe, or are you going a few more surprises?
I reckon a few more. It's like Left to Loathe on crack.
Rightio. Now I'm intrigued.
Yeah. I'll shoot you over some sneaky demos when they're ready.
Yeah, sweet. Do that, man. I'll be pleased. So, have you actually recorded any of them yet, or are you just writing?
No, so we recorded a few tracks. I won't say too much because I don't know if it'll end up being more, but we've done less than 10. I'll say that. So we recorded a few tracks. Most of it's tracks. The vocals and guitars are tracked. We need to track drums. There's a few more production things that sort of need to happen, but yeah, hopefully we want to try and get more music out this year. And we know it's been a little while since about a year since we released anything, but it's all for a reason.
Yeah, easy, mate. I'm not going to push you any further. We'll get a chance to chat about that more when it happens.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's next for Heist, mate? Your new song's out. You're going to have to be doing a party for it somewhere.
Yeah. So I think we'll be announcing this on Monday, but we will be doing a headliner at the Red Rattler in Sydney. That'll have, I can say it on here, it doesn't matter. That'll have Lifesil, Alira from Melbourne, Mirkwood, and Weightless on the bill. We're doing Fireball Fest up in Brisbane. That's with Diamond Construct and She Cries Wolf and a bunch of other really great bands.
Nice.
And then, I suppose see where the road takes us from there.
Sweet as, man. All right. Well, thanks for your time, Sean. The song Left to Loathe is out now, and it's another cracker from Heist. And you heard it here first. They'll be doing a couple of shows soon, so keep an eye on their socials. Find out more.
Too easy. All right. Thanks, man.
Left to the day.